We are here. We are here. Just making sure that I am live everywhere where I need to be live. The people are joining me. Just let me know that you can hear me and that my mic is fine. Because hey, I've had horror shows, horror shows. Speaking, Khanti, that time you're not even live like that. So please, in the comments, just as you come in, let me know that you can hear me. We're going to talk about BAFANA. Hugo Bruce, and Hugo Bruce we trust. I know that a lot of people don't really like him like that. But yeah, so as you come in, just let me know that you can hear me. And then we can go from there. But I think everything is fine right now. Move this camera. I'm going to go ahead and start the show. Welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is George Mokwena. I am your host. This show is on every Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon, and then also Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. Today we've got quite a bumper day. In the morning... Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. This is why we check. Can you guys hear me? Hey, Pella, it's showing me something here. Okay. Seems like we're fine. You need a drip and oxygen mask. Hey, Malume, I'm here. I'm gonna push through. Hey, when. Okay, guys, so we're going to speak about BAFANA this afternoon. Then in the evening, we'll speak about Mamelodi Sundowns ladies, and we'll go from there. Darth Vader. Yeah, man, what's going on, guys? Is my voice like that? Anyway, if you want to watch the show, just know that it is available. Any of the previous shows, they are available on Facebook and on YouTube in full. If you want to join the show and lend your voice to this wonderful program and be part of my panels, just know that you have to be following me on TikTok. Join me while I'm live on TikTok. Then there'll come a time where I'll tell you that I'm going to open up the lines. There's a button at the bottom of the screen that says multi-guest. Click on it, request, I let you in, we speak. My brother, do you know why Loach is not in the national team? Hey, I don't know, my guy. I don't know. I think Hugo Bruce just doesn't like him like that. So, guys, as you know, during these days, when we have big games like this, there are press conferences. Shout out to Ayanda Newswa on YouTube. If you want to watch the full press conferences, they are available. So let's start by hearing from the two coaches, and then we'll start the show from there. So first up is Ukro. Oh, can I wait? Let me just get his name down. Gernot. Okay, here we go.
Yes, we had a very difficult first half, conceding a goal in the worst moment, first minute and in the last minute. So it was not easy in half-time to give again a good motivation and a good mind to my players. We tried, and the reaction in the second half was good. We played much better in the second half, and I think was not far away from a draw. You know, we tried, but the experience and the complicity of the block of Sundown, you see that they know themselves very well, and we don't have this complicity in our team. When you have a block with 6 or 7 players from one big club, it's always easier to make a good collective game. That's what they did, especially in first half. Then we changed a little bit in the halftime. We had yesterday the departure of our defender Olivier Verdon. His brother died, so he decided to leave, to go back to his family. And we prepared all the game with him, and we had to change in the last moment. It was not easy. And also our left striker, who was sick, could only play 45 minutes. So, but it should not be an excuse. South Africa was the better team today, and we hope to play better next Tuesday against Lesotho.
Thank you so much, Coach. I'm going to take...
Okay, that was the Gernot. Kana is German. Let's hear from our Belgian, Hugo Bruce.
Benin in this World Cup qualifier. Did everything go according to plan and to how training went in the past week?
I think it's very difficult to have to have a game that everything is going to the plan. First of all, I have to say that I was very happy, at least to play it for the crowd. That was a very long time ago. I didn't see a crowd like this since I'm here as a coach BAFANA. So thanks to the Durban people that were there in the stadium to support us. Secondly, I think that we started good. The first half we did what we have to do, also scoring. But the second half, I think Benin played a simple game, kicking the ball in front to the centre forward, who is very strong with the head, and then the second ball, and they were more aggressive too. So we panicked a little bit. We get a goal, and that was certainly not the plan. I preferred, or I told the players in the halftime certainly to keep the 2-0 and try to score the third one. But the game of Benin changed totally the second half. Again, they were more aggressive. And then it's a simple game. You push the ball in front, and there's a big guy who have every ball with the head, and the rest is running on the ball. So it's very difficult to defend. But yes, we kept till the end, and that is the most important thing. I said before the game that we are in a tricky group. You saw already Benin, I don't know which place on the ranking, but you see that playing. You see what happens with Nigeria, we see with the others. So it will be every game, it will be a battle. It will be fighting for a good result. And we have that today, and that is the most important thing.
Thank you.
Okay. For time's sake, I am going to jump in. Victor on Facebook has just confirmed, Victor Ramulubeng has just confirmed that Skukune have appointed Hlonole Siema as their head coach. We'll talk possibly about that further on in the week, but I just wanted to say that. Okay, so let me jump in. We played Benin, 2-1 win. The stats were as follows. We had 7 shots, they had 5. On target, we had 3, they had 1. 68% possession to us. 576 passes versus 266. 88% pass accuracy versus their 76. 7 fouls on our sides. 19 fouls on Benin side. 1 yellow card apiece. And then 4 offsides for us. And 1 for Benin. Like the coach said, we started like a house on fire. 2 minutes in, goal. Just as we went into halftime, another goal, 2-0, we're cruising, we're thinking that maybe we'll be able to get more goals, we'll go forward, we're playing fluid, the front guys are clicking, everything is going well, and Benin didn't necessarily seem like they were in that game. Come second half though, it seemed as though we got a little bit complacent. We started sitting back, allowing Benin to play. Benin was getting a little bit more joy. They realized they could be a little bit more physical with us. Crosses into the box for Umuni. Who missed a couple of chances, scored the goal obviously, but they showed that they could catch you off guard if you're not ready. What was scary was that towards the end of that game, and even in the first half, end of the first half, they were playing Mandikare, they've made it. They weren't necessarily all the way there, but a win is a win is a win. Our group currently looks as follows. We are number 1. Nigeria is number 2. They've played 2 games. We've only played 1. So Nigeria has drawn with Zimbabwe and has drawn with Lesotho. And then It's then Zim, Lesotho, Rwanda, and Benin is at the bottom. So if we win tomorrow, we have a chance to go top of our World Cup qualifier group. But remember, this is a very, very, very long road. A very long road. This is for the 2026 World Cup. So we're still going to see a lot more of these games, a lot more people, and maybe we'll get into whether Bruce should be looking to the future. So, okay, guys, I'm going to open up the lines. I'm going to let you guys in so that we can have a conversation here. Let's see. Mtor says, huge indictment on Gauteng people. Clearly, Bafana needs to play elsewhere. Not an easy group. Zimbabwe nearly won against Nigeria. Let me open up the lines and then we can have a proper conversation. Let's see who's on Bruce's side this time. Kumo, how are you, my brother?
Sharp. Well, how's you and everyone else doing?
No, we're good, man. I'm still coming down from last night. Begum celebrate.
It
But
was
it's-
nice, man. When last did you smell like that?
Ah,
When
but it's
last, bruh? Yo,
Torrele. Tell me, how did you see the game? What are your thoughts about the game? Secondly, when the crowd to go Durban, maybe Bafana should go out more often.
it's do you call that handful of people a crowd?
Baraki crowd, it's better than Orlando.
It says a lot about us as fans, but then again, you can't go to stadiums to watch mediocrity. Lona hape Safa Airi marketing, so we don't know where to go when the games are playing and how much the tickets are. So it's not
Yeah.
entirely our fault. Ne? But man, it was a team down Sundowns performance. Clearly, we were missing a lot of players. See, we could have done with our strikers, Ribeiro, Peter Shalulile, because they got the killer instinct. Yeah, Tawishem, he tried, ne? But then again, like, I wanna losing 5 of your senior starters. It shows. So this team, man, it's a win, I guess. There isn't so much to really complain about. Other than the fact like we should have killed off this game.
Yeah.
Guy having a lot of goals. So I want Corey just to show the world our intention. Because I mean, like, if only this other game, UEFA qualifiers. France, Gibraltar, they're not.
Yeah.
Why can't we do the same? Because potentially we also can. We can. We've got all the personnel. Ne? One thing about that side, about that Sundowns team moonlighting as Bafana, it was much more stable. It had so much stability. It was sure of itself, and that was something that we hadn't possessed in the previous game. So so fella, my only grind with this Sundowns team that hore understand the AFL fatigue and stuff. Mara, they need to have that killer instinct and score as much goals as possible because, like I said after the game, ne, you got teams like Lesotho, okay, fine, we killed traditionally one of the big we drew with one of the big players in Africa in Nigeria. So what is Bafana? They were so confident. So if we had scored more than 10 goals, they were gonna be wary and actually not play to their strength. But this guy Lena Bruce, man, he's not the guy he thinks it is. But I'll leave it there for now.
Okay. I'm seeing here in the comments, Ulwazi says he watched Bafana live and it was a good crowd. And it was 14-0, Kumo. Those Kamaropa the 4 goals, Sabot. Let me bring you to Sinje on the burner. Sinje, how are you? How did you see this game, my brother? And crowd, Moses Mapita, does this prove that they need to move out?
Let me keep quiet on the crowd issue. I don't want to be. What I like about Kumo. What he's saying is that a Sundowns team, a Sundowns crowd, they go ahead and
Hey, Mara.
So you can. We're not surprised when you play Sundowns team, you're gonna get a Sundowns crowd. But anyway, I think Benin, most of their players are playing overseas on second division leagues, so that showed.
Yeah.
For the fact that they're not leaving the country, they're going to play their home game in South Africa. That also shows the the economic, the viable economic of their football organization as well. So it tells you the type of team that we are playing. Does that then the score reflect that we are playing a country that cannot even afford to take their national team back home to play their home game, and also playing second league, players that are playing in second division leagues? I think South Africa could have done more than 2-1. But let me give credit to Benin. I think the second half, they realized that they're not going to show South Africa any more respect. They're going to be very aggressive.
Yeah.
They became very aggressive. Then I started being worried. If South Africa cannot play an aggressive Benin, um, how are they going to compete in Africa, where the Congo, your DRC, how aggressive they can be. The South, these North African teams, how aggressive they can be as well.
Yeah.
Are we going to cope with Jomosono kind of a football where players are mafakinya when they are playing? I'm a little bit worried that they're not aware, or maybe they were caught off guard. Maybe, let's put it that way, maybe they were caught off guard. That's why they did not come up with proper tactics in the second half.
Okay.
Then it makes me, I'm interested to see how BAFANA play against Nigeria, teams that can be a little bit physical. Then I'm gonna say, okay, I'm rallying around Hugo Bruce, if they display fluidity when they are playing against countries that know how to mark and are very aggressive. They can pull you, they can serve you, they can put a soldier in. And then these are players that can be physical as well, and then we can go forward with it. Otherwise, not a bad game, but it raises a bit of concerns there and there. But anyway, 14 wins in a row, 14 games unbeaten. I mean, 12 games unbeaten. Let's give the old man a round of applause.
Okay. Let me bring in Mto. Mto, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
I'm good, Mr. OT. Ngibingelele nepanel yonke. Hola bafethu.
Tell me, how did you see this game? And also, attendance nyana man. Maybe most mapitas they are too manje. I'm a final lapa. Everything is there.
You know what? I again, it's this thing of when you are a privileged kid, you don't appreciate what you have. That's how I feel sometimes about the Gauteng. When they get all of these Bafana games and then they get about relax, man. Sometimes, yeah. So you find in the other provinces they still hungry for Bafana games and all of these big games. That's why it's a fact. Yes, the stadium was not sold out, but you could tell it was better than in previous matches. Bafana. So for me, that's good. And I also like the point. I think it was Kumo who mentioned it, which also Isafa needs to do more. I mean, guys, even now PSL we're complaining about the same thing. Agnama activations. How many malls do we have here? But they should just do a mall activation and say Bafana is playing in 2 weeks' time. Come and watch the game. Now ticket lana. The stadiums can easily be packed, man. We are a football crazy nation. We're passionate about football. So to get people to go there, and especially for 40 bucks and all of that, and it's a national team qualifier. I mean, it's a qualifier. It's not even a friendly. So they should be doing more in terms of that. But yeah, in terms of the game, you know what? I think first half we played like a team that wanted to win the tie. Yeah, the game. I mean, we were very. Because express I mean, I like the way they played. So for me, given the performance of first half, we should have killed the game off second half. We should have killed the game. And 2-0 is one of those scores. I just had flashbacks to the game in Liberia where we led 2-0 and ended up drawing 2-2.
Yeah.
So that for me, I think Bruce needs to work on the mentality going forward, especially with second half, man. Second half, we drop the ball. We just let our foot off the gas, man, and we give the opponents a chance to come back. Now we've got a massive, and I mean massive chance of qualifying. I'm not even talking about. I know it's a long road, but if we beat Rwanda, we're already 4 points clear of Nigeria, which means we can afford to lose against Nigeria and still and try and win the other games. We need to make sure, guys, we fight for the points, and then I mean, it's not that we would have done the job, we would have finished the job, but we would have put ourselves at a huge advantage. Remember, this time the difference is that whoever finishes top of their group qualifies for the World Cup. It's not a matter of qualifying for more playoffs. Remember, this is an expanded World Cup, the next World Cup. So there's a huge opportunity, Manje. So the boys must just grab it.
Okay. Let me go into Spupa Spuba. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you said it correct, Ismail.
How are you, my brother?
I'm awesome, man. First time up. Thanks for the opportunity.
Nah, no stress. Welcome to the panel family. Tell me, how did you see this game? And attendance that side, Moses Mapida was very good. Should they now do a countrywide tour maybe?
First of all, Banyana style, I'd like to show some appreciation for the ladies.
We're speaking about them. 8 o'clock tonight. They've got the whole show.
Yeah, so the attendance, when it comes to the attendance, guys, you need to remember something. Gauteng is used to the premium football in the country. If you got a Pirates, a Sundowns, and even a Chiefs on a good day, that is playing at a level that is above Bafana. You're gonna find it very difficult to convince people to come watch you at the stadium. So now Bruce has finally gotten the team to a position where it's defensively stable and they can win games. We still need to give them the space to actually make the team dangerous. I believe the performance against Morocco in Joburg showed exactly how dangerous Bafana can be. It's just a matter of doing it consistently. So I must also come to the defense of the Benin coach, I think the panel has been very disrespectful to the man so far. He could have been the Bafana coach right now instead of Hugo Broos. So you need to consider for him using such low quality players, European based, but low quality players, and be able to put out a performance like that with a pool much smaller than South Africa. You need to give him his flowers. He's only starting to get results now. So he is in his process where Bruce was about 15 months ago. You understand? So I think we need to give the man respect and watch out for the team in the second encounter. I think in the second encounter is going to be a very different game. In a humid environment, in a small pitch, a bumpy pitch probably, and that's where Bafana will be tested because they will be playing an aerial game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to come... Go on.
Yeah, in terms of Bafana's actual performance, it was a game of two halves. Like I said, with the quality coach, it's not a quality opposition, but with the quality coach opposition that we were facing, I'm not surprised that it was a game of two halves. Again, you need to question the administrators at SAFA as to how do they plan to use their home advantage. I mean, if you are taking players from Europe and players that are coming from equatorial climates, why are you taking them to the exact climate where they will be comfortable in their football? Why are we not taking this team to go play in Rustenburg in the sun? And then do the PSL 11, because we know what we're doing. We don't need to put Lyle Foster and all of those guys through that. Play a PSL 11, run them in the sun in Rustenburg. When you get your 6-7 nils, take them to them, then you'll get your 6-7 nils. But if you're taking them to an environment where they'll be comfortable, then you are actually betting against your own cause.
Okay. I like that point about the environment. I'm going to come back to it. Malome Kumo, let's talk about Hlongwane and Makgopa. And as much as there was a Sundowns influence, and you could tell the Sundowns players were playing well together, Makgopa and Hlongwane didn't look comfortable, didn't look all the way there. What did you think about the two of them? Should they be playing going forward?
There's no denying that those two individuals are great players. Otherwise, they wouldn't have made the Bafana squad. You know, this is the problem with having the bulk and core of a certain PSL team. Like, if you're gonna add more people, make sure those people have similar style of play. So in this instance, I'm not gonna give them the blame because it says a lot about the coaching that was provided for them. So I don't know, man. Maybe they should have adapted. Like, Bruce must pick a struggle. Are you gonna be fully committed to the Sundowns way of playing? And if so, how do you best integrate those two players based on their strengths? Because I believe anyone can do it. But like when as a coach, you have to apply your mind. You can't just plant people and hope for the best. That is why I always question his coaching abilities. I'm like, this guy, man. But we'll speak about him some other time because this one needs a show on his own. You understand? So, because now what he has done to Makopa in Tlongwane, because you know how fans are nasty. Now you broke those two players' confidence, and when they play for Fana again, we won't be getting their best, even if the coach rectifies his tactics, ne?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man, because that's all I have to say for those two players.
Okay, Sinje. It's Sundowns plus others, and the others, Makopa and Tlongwane especially, weren't necessarily in this game. Do you think that they should be the people chosen going forward that we should focus on? Or do you think that we should wait Lau Foster or maybe Lepasa or another player could fit a little bit better in this team?
Look, I think if you are going to do what you did, you have to also look at how Sundowns use them, and then if you are going to add someone to them, then you must look at how they play as well. And I think that for me was evident in that as well. So if you are going to choose Sundowns players, which I agree, they are playing well as a team, they are playing well as players, they are playing well as unit. So keep what is at the core and then surround them with what is similar in how they play at Sundowns. And I thought that Lepasa for me has some swag, coaching swag, and clinical swag as well. So I would have chosen him, even though he's not playing the Pirates. Because
Okay.
they've been playing well with him in Bafana anyway.
Okay. No, go on. I'm gonna let you finish. Wait, let me let you finish.
No, you can go on.
No, I'm gonna let you finish. I thought those pauses, man. Hey, how sharp a pregnant pause? Just let me know. Yes, Inje.
Get away.
Tlongwane and Makopa in this team. Should Bruce insist on playing them, or are there better options maybe to come in?
Yeah, you know what? I think with Tlongwane, he should continue because already he's been part of the team for the longest time. Mokopa, there was a huge break in between. So I would start to Lipasa and put Mokopa benching. And then he comes on second half because at least Lipasa has been part of the previous Bafana squads and he knows exactly how Bruce wants to play. Given that, but the past game, I thought it was a game that was going to be suitable for Lyle Force. Unfortunately, because of his mental issues, he was not around. That was the perfect game for him. For me, he was going to shine in this game. So hopefully he gets over his issues soon and then he's back on the pitch where he belongs. So, but for me, I would continue with Tlongwane. I think he just had an off day, Shem. He had an off day. It wasn't, and it happens. Even Pesitao can have an off day sometimes. Someone was mentioning which Pesitao last scored in 2014 or something. You see, there's a gap there. I was even making a joke saying that he's chasing down low Benny. But hey, the record like Benny is going to be here for years if that's the kind of look. You know? I mean, he just surpassed to Sbusiso Zuma Manje by 1 goal. And I mean, come on, the gap between him and Upen, he has 14 goals, Benny 31. So he needs to score quite a lot. And I mean, he's our most reliable forward, Dstv, and we need to see more from him. Yeah, and the funny thing is that, hey, I think Rwanda is a team that likes playing as well. So, hey, we must be careful. Let's not underestimate them.
Okay. Let me bring in Super Sfuba. Tell me, what went wrong with Hlongwane and Makgopa? They seem to be a little bit off of the pace. What could be the issue that's happening there, and should we continue with them?
Gentlemen, I think we just need to remember that it takes 4 years to build a World Cup squad. If you watch our European counterparts and our North African counterparts, you stay with the group of players for 4 years or even 12. Now, I think Namibia has done the same with this group that's just about to retire. Yabo Shalulile, Yabo Hoto. They've been going to youth, you understand? So to expect an evidence that hasn't been playing for a long time at Pirates has come in, is starting to get his feet at Pirates, is immediately given an opportunity, and then you expect him to fit like a glove. That's not how it works. And so I think the matter is now, that's when you take it back to the technical staff to say, technical staff, you are choosing this group of players. Do you know how you are going to use them when you pick them? Or are you picking them simply because they are on form? What I like about this is that as much as he's a stubborn man, he is a sensible man. He was able to change his mind in September Zwane, and I think he'll be able to arrive at the conclusion that I'm gonna need to have 2 teams in one.
Okay.
I'm gonna need to have a European style team for when I play South American and European opposition and North African opposition. That is gonna be 100% strictly disciplined. And then when I play my African and my less polished opposition and my lower ranked European opposition, I can throw in Bo Mofokeng. I can throw in Botlong. I can throw in people that are just going to go there and mesmerize these boys, and then we're gonna get FIFA complaints about disrespect. It's just about when to use what. It's no longer like the olden days where you knew where your national team is gonna be comprised of Chiefs, Sundowns, and Pirates. Now you can get players from Cape Town City. Now you can get players from Stellenbosch. So now it's back to the technical staff to say, okay, guys, we've identified that the Sundowns way is what resonates mostly, because it's actually not the Sundowns way, it's a South African way which Sundowns has perfected.
Okay.
So now that we know that Shoeshine Piano works generally for South African football, and we've got experience that Dutch football also works for South Africans, and we've got experience that Spanish football works for South Africans, and then considering the group of players that we have, what are we going to do for the World Cup? What is our plan A, B, and C for the World Cup that's coming? Because you need a player like Evidence Makgopa who's going to pull a central defender out of place. You cannot always use a box striker. That's not always gonna. It's not always gonna work. So you can't always use a Pesitao. Sometimes you're gonna need someone who's gonna hold up the ball a little bit more. Sometimes you need someone who's gonna attack your defender. Sometimes you're gonna need someone who's gonna play the ball around to create the space.
Yeah.
You understand? It's all about that, in my opinion.
Okay. Kumo, on that point, should Bruce be experimenting at this point? I know it's a World Cup qualifier, but also we're going to AFCON. Do you think this team will do well at the AFCON, and how do you think they're going to do versus Rwanda tomorrow?
Yeah, man, he should have experimented with the younger boys. Like, he's trying to build a team for the future. I mean, like, I'm a Tembazwane fan. I mean, we can't rely on the guy for more years again. He's already being fatigued. He's playing a lot of games at club level. His age, his knees are gonna eventually give in. Why as I gonna churela I lola those ball boys? Because they want the future. But they forgetting, but they mabena, you know. If wanna clearly experiment there, he should have used those kids instead, like in the place of Evidence Makgopa level Hlongwane. Well, if he had used the kids and we played the way we did, like the same way Botlongwane and Makopa played, we wouldn't be complaining. At least we were gonna say at least he's integrating these kids, he's planning for the future, and blah 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 blah. What? Ne?
Yeah.
Like I say, like on paper, I still think, or as much as your Egyptians, your Egyptian players are from Liverpool, Boo, Nigeria have your Osimhen. I still believe and I stand by my squad, we're gonna win the AFCON and we're gonna qualify for for the World Cup as well. Provided this Belgian guy Agiti Atamaye and Rulani Amunlaite. I get Mara, if not, then he's just continue Abachamo China because he seems to have a lot of luck. So man, honestly, like my only thing about that, I'm gonna go back to my first point. Experimenter with the young ones because
But you
that's how you're
experiment
gonna
now.
grow.
We've got a tournament in January.
Yeah, you should experiment now. I get the bigger picture, I get the World Cup. I mean, like, even if we lose this AFCON, it's nothing new. We're used to it. We'll play again in the next one. It's only 2 years away, I get. We play again, and with an exciting squad that you know already they've played at the previous one, and they know each other, and they've got youth on their side. So going forward, we can win more. That's why I want to take a calculated risk.
Okay, no, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Sinje, should he be experimenting Kaba Mahopa? Shouldn't we have a team right now ready for AFCON, or at least, I know we played well, but like a killer team ready for AFCON? How do you feel about that, and how do you feel about Rwanda tomorrow?
I agree with you on the. I don't think we are in a space where we should be experimenting with these young players now. In particular, when we are going to AFCON, I think maybe after AFCON, I think right now we need to build a team that is going to AFCON to win AFCON or do well in AFCON. Then after AFCON towards the World Cup, because I think AFCON comes every year, ne?
Every 2 years.
Every 2 years. And when is this World Cup? 2020,
26.
2026. Do we have another AFCON before the World Cup?
Yeah, we're probably going to have, it's going to be one of those beginning of the year things and then World Cup later.
Yeah, I think so. I think this AFCON, you see this one, we don't have time to be building here. We want to build our reputation with this AFCON. Then we can build then towards the next AFCON and towards the next World Cup. For me, you can only build or experiment in friendlies only. Once it comes to World Cup qualifier, once it comes to World Cup, once it comes to AFCON group stages, once everything that has to do with qualifier, you don't mess around. You don't experiment. Experiment about friendly games. Play FIFA, play PSL 11, and then experiment with those players. With BAFANA qualifiers, you play your main squad that you are displaying to the world that this is what you are bringing to be competitive in the world stage. Right now, we don't have time to be experimenting with boys that are not playing apparently in their clubs. Yeah, but anyway, I think Hugo must build a team and then display that team as the competitive South Africa towards the world stage. And I agree with Usfuba there up there to say, have your 2-in-1 squad, but not in an experimental form, but to show diversity in your game, to show versatility in your squad, and your approach to games as well. That we know when you are playing this type of a country, this is the team that you are bringing. When you are playing this type of a country or this type of football, when you are going up against this type of football, this is what you are bringing to the table. Not necessarily as experimentary form, but to say that we are very versatile, we are very talented, and we are a country to be reckoned with. Yeah. We are not a one-trick pony.
Should he be experimenting? Should he now bring in Abolipasa, make sure that Abolipasa up until AFCON? What should happen here?
Now, for me, you can't experiment Goma World Cup qualifier, guys. So you bugele TV to experiment. So we need to get the experienced guys who know how to play those big matches. I mean, you see, I think we can experiment, my friendly guys. I would like maybe one or two, a maximum of three youngsters to go to the AFCON, even if they don't play much. But for experience, for example, Umabena, your Batman Loago, Cape Town Spurs, that boy, for me, he's the best youngster currently on form.
Yeah.
Yeah, but on form. So, and then we can think about building after the AFCON day. But now it's too late to be experimenting. And first of all, we've got a chance to qualify for a World Cup, man, and we want to mess it up because it's not we're throwing them into the deep end, man. It's not gonna work out well for us if we take Batman, Mapen, and we put them and expect them to get them results. They're gonna mess up because they're starting off. And I mean, their own clubs, they don't trust them as starters. They get those minutes. Yeah, so let's not put too much pressure on the young players. I want to understand if they were like your Mbappe, who are already claiming they are starting bets at my clubs up. Yeah, so we don't have a youngster that is like that in the PSL, where you can really be sure this boy is gonna start no matter what. So for me, hey, let's not experiment right now. And I mean, for a status, Bafana, we need to raise the status again and become that Bafana that is feared enough. I like what the Morocco coach said. The Morocco coach said some positive things about Bafana. He said, actually, Bafana can play. Yeah, so, and he believes if you'll end up uhlangana neBafana, you will be troubled because they can play. Yeah, so the guys can play, just that they are not. They drop the ball at some point. They take the foot off the gas. They don't play for the whole 90 minutes. You find it's patches, and that's what Hugo Broos needs to sort out. Yeah, so for me, Boli Pasa and all of the guys that have been working for him, he needs to continue with them just to build that momentum before even AFCON. So because honestly, if Angadal Pasa, who is gonna be playing again? We saw Umokopa couldn't really. He tried out Umokopa and it did not really work out. Yeah, so it's too late to experiment. And then I feel like we need to be careful because I watched my clips Rwanda and they can play as well. They can play as well. So they're not a team that's gonna just watch Ibafana playing and all of that. And I'm not sure. I think they also play what's this thing, artificial turf. Hopefully, I'm hoping it's not an artificial turf because that ground looked too good to be grass. So so yeah. So hopefully, yeah.
Okay,
And
no. Thanks, Dr. Thanks, Dr. As Puma, should he be experimenting at this point? Just to go deeper into the point you had made, should he experiment at this point before AFCON? Shouldn't we know our team by now? At least the first team.
I think there's a difference between experimentation and assimilation. The days are gone where, like I said, even at club level, Sundowns Pirates has been doing it for a long time unsuccessfully, but Sundowns has showed that you have to have 30, 33 players, 34 players to survive in the wilderness.
Yeah.
The same for the national team. Yes, you can have a core starting 11, but now what happens if Lyle Foster gets a 4-year doping ban? What happens if Williams breaks a knee and his career is over? Then you find yourself in a similar situation where Pirates lost Senzo Meyiwa and their defense went to shit.
So what?
Sorry. Yes, the extent of losing one player to such an established team, it made such a huge destabilization. So the only way you have these players ready for those emergency situations is to give them exposure. These European clubs and these national teams, they are not crazy for giving a player 5 minutes at the end of the match.
Yeah.
Give these players those 5 minutes. Give those players those 10 minutes. Those 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they build up over a 4-year period. And when you play the most When we put it so, you know what, Lyle Foster is the person who's going to come through for me, and he has a bad tournament, and Zakele Lepaza carries the team. That's the result we are looking for. Same as Sundowns, that whoever comes in is able to do the job. But the advantage of the national team is that because you only have the creme de la creme of a particular nation, you have the license to play in more than one way. Africa, yes, our strength is running, passing football, but we can have a B side that is more physical, made up of BC, of Bomvala, of, you know, you can have
Bomb
a
squad.
CAF team. Yes, you can have a CAF team, you can have a FIFA team, and then you can have a SADC team. There's nothing wrong with doing it. And that's what the Springboks are doing, actually. And when it's necessary, when you have an injury to a key player, it doesn't become a disaster. The Springboks lost Bonambi, they lost Mampimpi, they lost but they came back with the World Cup. Those were the three starters, but they still came back with the World Cup. We need to replicate the same in our national team in the football.
Okay, no. But thank you so much. You must carry on joining. You must carry on joining. Just like to send a shout out to Togotela, man. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you so much for the gifts. Malume Kuto. Guys, Togotela is a EAFC streamer, formerly FIFA. One of the best guys. He's always live. Please follow Togotela here. He's just here. If you enjoy esports, he's your man. He's your man. Let me let in the other guys so that we can have this convo. Let me just check. Malume Kutso, how are you, my brother?
I'm well, and how are you, Mr. OT?
No, I'm good. Good. How about you, how? I'm gonna ask you two questions. How did you see the game? And then number two, this Mombela experiment. Somebody in the previous panel said maybe we should start using our Limpopos, our Northwest, to create tough environments for these players, for other teams to play in. What do you think of that idea?
Yeah, afternoon to everyone. Kukilo Togotela is a fighter. But anyway, he's a streaming fighter. Shout out to Togotela. I'm watching him. He's saying increase. Anyway, Bafana man. Kana king home crowd advantage. Yeah, no, it's been well ventilated. High felt. I understand. But in the same breath, how many teams play Ko Limpopo in SA? How many games
Super Sport. Super Sport.
And they play at 8 p.m. They themselves can't cope with that heat.
Yeah.
So it could be counterproductive. So maybe let's take it to Amanyama Highveld areas, maybe like Bombombela. That one I support. If you want to take it to Limpopo, take it there at night, because again, the respiratory what?
Yeah.
Because I know if you're from a lower lying area going to a higher lying area, you can't breathe at some point. I remember Argentina would suffer when they had to go to Bolivia. When you Umakalo, Bolivia is number last, but Chapa Argentina 6-0. When you watch the highlights, the medical doctors, they are coming in the oxygen tank for what Maria. Because they couldn't cope. So you can use it to your advantage, provided that your human resource or your resources there, your personnel, they are also used to it.
That's true.
You understand? So I do prefer Bombombela as well. It's just that about happy crowd attendance. If there's one area with the crowd will attend compared to any other area, it is KZN. So for picture we had to take it to KZN, unfortunately. You understand? And then you asked me, what was the first question, Ghana?
What are your thoughts on the game?
No, people don't want to win. Do we self-sabotage 9-9? Do you want to self-sabotage? Come on, guys. People want to shoot themselves in the foot right at the door. How can you say we don't care about AFCON? Guys, we haven't won AFCON since 96. And you want to say we don't care about it? This is our chance. And how many times or for how long has Sundowns been knocking around the ball, dominating possession in Africa? For how long? It's been a long time. They've been clapping teams 60, but they couldn't finish. I mean, 5-0, but they couldn't finish off. And let's be honest, Bros, not Jose, have somehow contributed. But it's definitely the other direction. But
The other direction.
Hey, what's going on? Okay, I'll come back, Balumukutu. I'll come back to you. Zeshwa, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
I'm well in yourself, OP.
No, I'm good, my brother. I'm good. Tell me, I've got two questions for you. How did you see that match that Bafana played? Number one, and then number two is the time, man. Gucci, Spice Limpopo, man. Spice, Moses Mapida to places that have different environments. Do you think it will help us? Nothing, Jay. We can get a nice king. You know, when you go to other countries, they say that we're gonna have a tough time because of the elements. Natis fagam elements.
Okay, I think ngicare ngegame abhutiza. Hayi igame mina ngiyibone imnandi plus i-first half kakhulu yabona kube ama-player we-Sundowns they made a huge difference basebenze kakhulu like to majority yabo ama-player we-Sundowns like they did the whole lot of isipani laphaya. Now amanye ama-player they did contribute, not saying they didn't contribute, but you could see ukuthi abobani abasinikeza i-balance kuleyo game leyo, understand. And then second half bakhipha abomshishi bakhipha umvala, and then you could see ukuthi sekune-difference futhi like the game dropped ku-middle field idrophile. We didn't dominate like first half njengoba methi nabo umshishi, and then we conceded masiqeda. I'm not blaming uSbisi, but we conceded makuqeda ukungena uSbisi. I think if mekunomvala ngokucabanga kwami you would have dealt with it different yona leyo goal lesiyiconcedile. So I think we played well first half. Second half, it was not convincing that much because this country lemons now they came to the party second half, and then I think they gave us a tough time. We couldn't defend well. They could have scored and equalized after baqeda ukukora everyone. I think they could have scored the other goal because mesesilele kakhulu. So I think kumele sithi ukulungisa leyo situation yethu ukuthi singasliphi over emsebenzini, but especially ngama-critical njengoba mesikhuluma ngalamanye amagame wenzakala critical moment, critical time of the game. So I think uBros kumele ayilungise lapho, and then mina even if mengithi ngizosho lento lokuthi even if they can take 10 players or 11 players awe-Sundowns, as long i-country yethu izoba mnandi, I don't mind we doing it for i-country yethu. We can have 10 players on the field, the Sundowns is fine, as long as we're going to progress to the finals, as long as we're going to progress to the ama-qualifier ama-World Cup. I understand that because uyabona into lokuthi i-Sundowns like i-standard sabo uyabona kusihluke kakhulu kulama-team wethu. You could see umthetho ukuthi u-off mekangena like I think it's a bigger stage for bona bomthetho because they are not used to playing abo-careful lezo zinto lezo. Abosibisi yena udlale i-careful kancane njenge-Pirates, they couldn't go through. So i-experience says a lot esayidini le-Sundowns ukuthi like they have a lot of experience. Abomndawo lapha i-goalkeeper lapha, I think we did well via i-score line sethu ukuthi siwinile lelo game lelo. Other than that, I think we should improve things, I understand. Leyo yokutshentsha i-stadium, ibhutiza leyo yokutshentsha i-stadium for mina I think ngeke isigaye advantage because either way ithi ngikhulume ngama-fan, either way ama-fans wethu like awakabi satisfied. I think if iBafana ifuna like ikhuphula inumber yama-fans ukuthi attend ama-game, I think they should at least win something ukuthi at least basigaye leyo hope leyo ukuthi team yethu iwile. Other than that, I think sisazosafara nge-attendance yama-fans ukuthi azogcwalisa stadium izinto ezinjalo. So
Ukutshentsha istadium I think angeke kuyenza umehluko bhukiza, angeke kumele kuye vele njengoba ngisho nge-performance. Other than that indaba ye-stadium I can't say a lot because yeah, saying vele indaba yokuthi
Okay.
ba-improve basebenze ukuthi at least sizokhona ukuthi size e-stadium soba-support.
Okay. Malume Kutso, are you back?
Back, Mr. OT, man. Hey.
Yeah.
Bafonela. Ababakhuthubule esifuba. Guys, let's not distort and be unfair on other people's hard work. And understand.
Yeah.
If Bafana loses, how many guys are gonna come here and say Sundowns lost? No one. It's gonna be Hugo Bross's fault. But when they win, the benefits go elsewhere. No, gents. And now most of the players, they were already playing for Bafana when they were signed by Sundowns. When Sundowns was struggling to win a Champions League, Abo Mokoena was signed while playing for Bafana. I think Nomvale as well. I think we ventilated this before. The only players who I think went to the national team directly from Sundowns are Utemba Zwane as well as Usaila Mudau. Ronald Williams was actually the captain. Not only was he playing for Bafana, he was already the captain of Bafana by the time he was called up to. He was signed by Sundowns. Tebogo Mokoena as well. Same can be said for Umvala. These guys were already there. So let's not twist it. And if we go to Instructions Sundowns, arguably the most important player with Sundowns would be Allende. And we know they struggle to play with Allende.
Yeah.
Rose is not struggling without Allende because he has his own plan. He knows what he's doing. So we can't say now with Yonke, I'm just losing the word. I'm a benefits or whatever. I'm a congratulations. So I say Sundowns. Come on, gents. I think we're not being genuine when we do that. And Abo Spies has been in the Bafana framework since Golden Arrows days. We can't credit the Pirates for that. Imagine me saying Makopa is in Bafana because he's playing for Pirates. That would be a straight lie. Makopa has been in Bafana. He actually stopped Gangane because he joined the Pirates. Same goes for Batusi Obas. His move to Sundowns has delayed him. He was a Bafana player before he signed. So let's not cause it division into Gents. Bafana did well as a team. Yes, there will be certain instances where okay, you know what? This very play was clockwork in terms of behavior, habit. Umudiba might have pierced through the middle, whereas in the national team he's expected to go down the line and then he goes down king. He underlaps instead of overlaps. That we can credit. However, to just remove the credit from the coach and place it elsewhere, I don't think that's genuine, James. And I think we should protect our national team as football lovers, because people outside of football are struggling to support Bafana. As football lovers, we need to protect it and move it away. And I think, in as much as I blame Chiefs fans and I say they're toxic, these type of talks are things that make them be toxic, because they will feel as if they are being excluded. That's when they will come and say, this coach of yours will feel it. And in defense of Umtetwa, Bafana has not been playing with a 6 for the longest time. They've been playing with a 8. So for Umteta to come and adjust, it will take time, because I don't even think the coach really studies that hard to play a player like Umteta. But there will come a time where we will greatly need a player if Umteta is on maybe we have to park the bus against we are 2-0 up, and Nigeria needs to score 1 goal to qualify for the World Cup, and then we get Umthetho to come in and solidify a defense. That time will come. We just need to keep introducing such players. If a player is quality, let's be patient with him as a nation, because auto benefit are Okay. Our sons will benefit. I'm sorry for going. Our sons will benefit when we've got Lyle Foster. I mean, Lyle Foster is already in the EPL, and suddenly they're looking at Umtao because Lyle Foster Chinese. They're like, okay, I think this is the third process, which is Lyle Foster is not okay. He needs support from another local boy. Let's check which ones are Bafana. who's the next best player, and they can see which umtawusha ispan. You understand? So this will benefit all of us. Let me not take too much time.
Time, yeah. Kolani, welcome to the show. How are you?
Andras, how's it?
I'm
Keeping to the panel.
I'm good. Tell me, I've got two questions. Firstly, what are your thoughts on the Benin game? And then secondly, is it time that we start using our different environments as the Bafana, maybe take them to Limpopo one day where they can, get some of that heat, that humidity, take them somewhere else, it's a different environment. Is it time for Bafana to start taking advantage of those things?
Yeah, firstly, also, I think I need to stop jumping in after my games first because my views will be based on my emotions. So the following day, I'll be having another thoughts, like another view of the game.
Yeah.
Because what if Bruce loses? So maybe we're expecting too much while it's build because most you like we don't have a starting 11. Yeah, but it's stable. That's like you can't name all the players from top of your head. Who go to man of the record. Yeah. So coming to it game, I think we played well. We got the results. I got the city. And like what was important, we were able to achieve. So most of the players like Abo Krongwane, even now everything Mahop. Gabafanita like Jongo Maseko. It's gonna take time for them since Bafana is more dominated by ama players at Sundowns. So let's just give them time. Come at the long run, they'll get used to his style. So some players at Sundowns. Not that I'm saying Sundowns is more important than Amanyama players. But we approach is more the same man with Hugo Bruce. Okay, let's use Sundowns as our core teammates. So I don't think we should put that pressure. We go evident, we go someone, yeah. So let's give them time. But if there are areas of questions, but it was a substitution Gamvala. It didn't make sense for me. I'm having somebody who maybe had a yellow card or something, but I'm keeper, but it didn't make sense to me.
Okay.
And about
environment,
yeah. As long as it's gonna benefit us when I'm Mr. OT. And I think our players enjoy like I said before. So I'm not sure if because I've never been to Olympo.
Yeah.
And this thing of geographic views, I'm getting this and Gaza because I can't comment much about it. Yeah.
Okay.
But as long as it's open let's just do it. Why not?
Okay, no, Flo, it's in network today. Ish, Flo, network never connects on that side. Try me again, Flo, try me again. Malama Kuso, I want to go to this thing of attitude. How do you change a team's...
I'm going in kaje kwashuli FAL zaenda comment network in bam.
Listen to that. He's only catching up now. When it comes to an attitude of a team, we had Benin on the ropes. We played very well, but we didn't capitalize all the way. How does one change that and make a team more aggressive in terms of trying to get bigger results?
It will come down to believing, breaking my shackles. Just encourage more and more the positive behavior, congratulate the good movements, making them comfortable to realize, okay, this opponent is there for the taking. Understand? It's just unfortunate, which at times they have to be cognizant of the fact which the lead can slip away. Understand? They can't just play. I've watched so many games, man, more Africa, man. There's something off of like Covenant Washo, off about African football that it's over. They're very slow, it doesn't look good. And I was still elaborating on the Sundowns point before I got a call to say they were dominating, they were always playing on the front foot. And Coach Rolani being just like Upros and being a man who can see where he likes and big enough to adjust or change certain things that he doesn't like. Started to apply low block, playing on the counter. Imagine someone who's known for a tiki-taka, instructing players to play long balls over the top. It's like, James, I've been burnt enough. I now understand to win. You do what Bafana does. You do what Pirates does. And Pirates did it against Sundowns twice, not just once, where they just study them and they play on the counter. By on the counter, I mean counter what Sundowns does. They press them aggressively or they just pin selling up high and expose the holes. So I feel like Abu Coach Page sometimes it doesn't look pretty on the eye.
Yeah.
But they are cognizant of the fact that if they don't do what's not pretty on the eye, they might lose the 3 points, and we might go back to saying, no, these players are old. Abaphume bonke. After being in the team for so long, working hard. I mean, Utebo Mukwena is such a great story. We saw him debut at like a tender age, as a teenager. We saw him go through about Olympics. I think it's AFCON under 23.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've seen proper progress. You see that development of super sport, partnering with great institutions like Tottenham. It's starting to bear fruits. And unfortunately, the fruits are not immediate and they might have detached by the time the fruits are bearing. We're starting to see Abu Williams, Abu Mukwena, Abu Mbule. Well, not so much Mujiba, but he also comes in at a tender age. We're starting to see with these people can read the game on an international level.
But the attitude, Malmekutso, to really drive it in when you've got the lead.
Well, that can be enforced. It depends how you look at it. Yes, you need to at some point you need to beat your face in your opponent's face in. But sometimes you need to be cautious and understand where you are when I was a team and understand what's more important. Is it high risk and high loss? So if you decide to go for a 4-0, yet when you studied this team and you studied the coach, you know which they can catch you nicely on the counter.
Yeah.
What do you do? Do you sit back, absorb the pressure, and walk away with a 2-1 win? Or do you risk it and maybe walk away with a 4-0 win or walk away with a 2-2 draw? Again, like Liberia, when you play Liberia, we never sat back. We attacked and missed so many chances. Next thing we knew, last minute, while we're still attacking, while you're attacking last minute, that boy, like Zabama Sondo would say, don't sit down from far. 2-2. So sometimes the attitude doesn't look good, but it's actually a positive attitude to say secure. Just like I'm going to refer to him again. Coach Rodney said, when it was 2-1, Umshishi came to him and said, let's close shop. When it was 2-0, let's close shop because if they get a goal, it's challenge. So sometimes
But was that time this match though? Because Benin was nowhere in the first half and we had no desire to go and cause more problems for them. I understand that in another game, but one could argue that the moment we started going defensive and he made those 2 changes, Benin started seeing more of the game.
Isn't this Benin team the same team that only loses by close margins against big teams like Abu Senegal?
I don't know, but all I know is that in that first half, we were all over them and we didn't capitalize. That's all I'm saying. Whether it's small or whatever, it wasn't the brilliance that was stopping us.
Like I said, in that case, maybe before halftime, we need to encourage our boys to say, if it's before halftime when we know these guys after the break, after a break, they're quite different. Let's beat their faces in. That I would support. And I feel like we can do that against this. that 1-1 draw, James, those people were making some miracle saves off the line. The goalkeeper, yeah. So don't worry about
Okay.
it.
Let me bring to Zesho. How do we change this mentality that now that we've got a lead, we've got King Bareng, we're dominating, but we're not putting it on the scoreboard. How do you change that? Because Benin could have maybe gotten back into that game in the second half when we decided to sit back, Nat.
Yazi, I think it's incoming ngokusho kanje kuqala lento le ekhosa ukuthi play ibe sona ukuthi amashida asuka asitshile ukuthi we've won the game. You won the game, but game alikapheli, understand. Maybe if you win the game, so we 93 minutes or 94 minutes of additional time. So I think we should put off that mentality that we've already won. And then I think ukuthi change lento lena amabhida lento le I think it comes from at club level butwami, like you difference. That's why we are at club level lento le switch on, understand. Example ngizokhuluma nge-Sundowns. Sundowns mayidlala butwami, even though baba leader one, they never switch off. Understand that? Because if you could see Nagu second half, they played Abu Dhabi. The thing is, abanye amaplayer were around bona for mina. They switched off. Understand that? They could understand ukuthi ngabamkhiphela ngoba njengoba ngizivele ngakazama ukuhlanganisa izinto. So ama-team kumele afundise ama-player or angazi bawenze nama-player ukuthi igame on for 90 minutes malingakapheli we still play whether we're leading 3-0 or 2-0. And another thing is I think we must capitalize kuma-goals. I think ucoach kumele atshele nakhona ucoach futhi mina yazi bhutwami angazi nokuthi futhi ngithini. Can I talk about Umahopa and Awonpasa?
Very quickly.
Yeah, amachita adropile bhutwami, understand. Ulpasa, Umahopa, we've got strikers. Sometimes angazi ukuthi bakhwetha kanjani. Sinabo Rainers abangekho laphaya, sinabo Mabata, ama-striker that are doing well good idea. That's why uthola ukuthi sasogol ukuthi sicapitalize sibulala ama-game because lama-player lawa sizitshela ukuthi sokora ngawo awakore emathimini wawo, like akora amagolinyana amancanyana. So I think ucoach kumele alungise ukuthi at least athathe labantu abadeserve ngoba last time I checked mekakhuluma nge-performance ukuthi if you perform then uzokuthola i-call up. Ziningi strikers ku-PSL njengalaba ngibamentionile earlier on. Angazi why bangathathwa abantu laba because they are scoring goals, those people, they understand. So I think kumele ayilungise. That's why vele ngisho ukuthi asicapitalize because of such things, I understand, via i-play via vele njengoba umuntu i-mentality, I understand. From kulamathini lawa siphuma kuwo omunye uza ngengcondo yakhe so omunye uza ngengcondo avezi ngento eyi-one. That's why mina ngithi ngithande njengoba mebafeel most ama-player we-Sundowns siyabona ukuthi i-mentality i-one iyafana. Umuntu odelile kulabantu laba mina for mina I think Usitholo did well kuleyo game leyo, like ngathi badlala like ethimini eyi-one nabo Temefulukweni kanti abathimini eyi-one like they babe ne-understanding enye enkulu kabi, understand. Naye uCulu for mina he played well. I think via i-backup yakamvala like njengoba mengisho vele experience abomvala seyinkulu manje nguye isithombe katshela uCulu ukuthi yenza kanje yenza kanje yenza kanje. So I think lento lokuthi sidrophe i-performance yethu izosikhawatha at the end of the day because kugcina sesidrowa njengabo-Nigeria so badrowa amagame amaningi. But other than that sekungaba yinto engalungiswa going forward yabona, plus mina ngikhala ngeyi-striker ukuthi i-striker azikho asinazo i-striker. That's why angeke sikhone ukukora amagoli amaningi ngeyi-striker ezingakhulu.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me begin. Tolani, how do you change an attitude of a team so that when they've got an advantage, they do more like France? France shy 14 because they saw good Labanta Beko. How do you change that type of attitude in the South African team? Or when they've got the advantage, they take it and they grind it in, man.
No, I think that one I'll put it on a technical team first. But I'm not like saying I'm blaming them kangako. I'm saying something but I improve a lot because
Yeah.
as a coach you need to understand your players, yabo. You need to know ukuthi mangikhuluma noMvala ngikhuluma on a certain way, yabo. I need to shout at uMvala and mase ngikhuluma noHlongwane ala kufanele ngimbize eduze and try to be ubaba kuyena, yabo leyo nto. So I think it's understanding and I think Bruce will get that right first. Because
Okay.
amaplayer amaningi like mangikhumbula nje ethimini fethu like ucoach would shout at our players akhulume nabo ngendlela engafani yabo, angakhuluma nami angithethise athi ngenzani, yabo leyo nto. Bese someone come and do the same thing bese mbize eceleni and we like tap him on the back, tap him on his back, amtshela akhulume naye kahle. So ngicabanga ukuthi igeja lapho phela, but going forward I think bazoyithola right. First, you only become a good coach if you be able to do ama-connections first. If
Yeah.
don't siyibone this past game, siphinde siyibone futhi on the next 2 games, and then soba worried lapho. But if lo sibona ama-improvements, so sobona ukuthi hayi, the coach is on the right path. So that's how mina ngimthatha ngayo coach. Yabo. So angeke ngize ngibe hard on i-technical team kangako, but nami ngiyafisa ukuthi eke sukume nje nayo the yabo, because uma uzobuka i-final ye-AFL you could see uRulani ukuthi he was coaching during the game. UBross had his hands up ececisa abadlali yabo. There was even at some point uRulani washintsha ama-tactics.
Yeah.
Symbol ukuthi etshela abadlali ukuthi they must like look the ball for yabo, balishiye ibhola for Masekude akwazi ukuthola ispace. So ilowo nalowo the topic I think uzo-improve uBruce. I know ukuthi after i-game bengimgxeka kakhulu, so there's so hence I'm saying ukuthi sekumele ngisukuma kancane after i-game because ama-views ami we always depend on ama-emotions.
Yeah. Okay.
But
No, that's fine.
yeah,
As long as you know, as long as you're born. Let me bring in. Let me bring in Tabang. Tabang, I'm gonna give you a minute to say your piece as you've asked for, and then I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked other guys. How do you change the attitude of the team that when they have dominance, they go for it? How are you, my brother? Welcome to the show.
Hi guys, how's it going? Look, man, you know what? I genuinely believe that the attitude thing is actually not just a Bafana issue. It's a South African football issue.
Yeah.
If you look at the league as a whole and the competitions we have, even in Nedbank where you'll be playing a first tier side and whatnot, you never get those kind of margins because the attitude from development is very, very different. I actually have to give it up to Coach Pito, Sundowns, and Norulani Naye and his technical team right now, because what they've managed to achieve is create an environment where players play for the team. They play for the jersey that they are wearing. They play with pride, and that kind of scenario, it can actually be, it's more powerful than talent, in fact. If you think
I think Tabang, the network is getting to you there.
Successful in the PSL.
Yeah, Tabang's network is letting him down there.
Those outies.
What I'll do, Tabang, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna disconnect you. Please try connect again, then I'll give you a chance. Malamekuto, how do you think about that Rwanda game? It's a massive chance to take a lead. Malamekuto? Yeah, I think Tabang just had a problem there. I'm gonna see if we can't get him back. But in the meantime,
can you hear me?
Yeah. Wait, who's talking?
It's the delayed.
It's the delay, yeah.
No, man, Linda by Rwanda. The sad part is that the draws that Nigeria have put us under pressure.
Okay.
usually when you play these games, you appreciate a draw away. Away, then you take a draw and run home. And as much as we've got that space, we've got these supporters of Asalaba. You understand? So if you follow normal modus operandi of saying, if I secure a draw, I'm happy. With these supporters, it's a frantic thing. It might cause a panic. You understand? But in Rwanda, they're also there for the taking. From what I've seen in terms of our results, not necessarily playing, which, like Coach Steve said, with the stats are like a bikini, so they can be so misleading. So we're dominant, but counter. However, I look at it and think, BAFANA has a solid chance, especially with the type of play that they use. This cautious play, this smash and grab type of attitude can help us away. This big lions up front, we see away from the pros that I know.
Yeah.
Players are preferred away. Kibo Mihlali Mayambela, Kibo Zakelele Pasa, because they are big animals, they are fast, they are bullies in their own right. You understand? So I look at them and I think we can come back with a goal or two from Rwanda and possibly a clean sheet. And I just want to come to Hugo Boss's defense to say he's been pairing Umvala and Okulu for the longest time to a point where we don't know who comes in as a sub. If one of them gets injured, we don't know who we're going to play. Because the third guy is no longer a member of the national team due to the great Mamelodi Sundowns and the competition that he finds there. So it was always Teruk, Nokulu, and then Nomvala. But Teruk is out of the picture. So it's now Ulu, Nomvala. And we have to create a competition, which is why we see UCBC come in. We have to create a competition. I would love to see Kogi also come in, so that should it be that Umvala cannot be bandaged for a game and he actually has to go out, we have a warm car ready to go. So I look at the Rwanda game and I think we can actually get 3 points and some good goals. However, if we come back with a draw, it's not a train smash.
Okay. Zesho, Rwanda. We could go 6 points, 4 points ahead of everybody else if we win that game. How do you feel about a game South Africa and Rwanda?
Rotman, kusasa ngicabanga ukuthi kumele silwine le game leli njengoba usho vele ukuthi at least sivule igap enkulu. But khona enye into engiwarishayo futhi yazi Rotman, asingakabi na a regular team kuBafana if you've noticed. Sometimes kungidlala uba uHlongwane, I think past games, if I'm not mistaken, he didn't play many games as njengabanye abadlali. So into engiwarishayo ukuthi nenini ukhona sinini akekho, mina ngifuna nje sibe naleyo a core team la siyazi ukuthi i-lineup yethu if i-change-ile maybe at least i-change ngomuntu oyi-one, so ukuthi singadisturb i-friendship or i-relationship between lama player wethu, understand. But I think mina ukuthi at least game lakusasa noma singabashaya boma-3 nyana si-strike ngayo uHlongwane, singambeki eceleni if bayamfaka, bangaphefumi lawa ama-forward bangabafaki mfethu. I-performance mfethu ibaluleke kakhulu mfethu. If you don't perform awudlali, simple as that mfethu. Si-strike ngoHlongwane sidlale ngesita weceleni. Angazi ukuthi le ntwana leyo ayebangayithathanga ubani le ntwana leyo uRelebogile le Bhakaniya, mina ngifuna khona bakhona nabo ya Mfukeng. I think nowapolice angayenza i-difference enkulu if mabangamgaya chance, but uBruce i-coach egrand ngiyamthemba. I think we can win the game tomorrow, not draw the game. We must win the game because made sivule igame sibe ne-advantage enkulu ukuthi siqale ku-number 1. I'm not sure ukuthi kuqualify i-number 1 number 2 or qualify
number 1
number 1
straight
number
in.
2 yodlala
Yeah, that's how it works.
or number 1 straight in.
Yeah, number 1 straight in.
Yeah, I think made qualify kanjalo. Yeah, made qualify kamnandi kanjalo na Goodman.
Okay. Xolani, how do you see tomorrow's game versus Rwanda?
I think we do have a chance to snag 1 and 3 points. If kungaba khona i-chemistry and understanding between Modiba neSengwane. I think we're gonna do well with. So
Okay.
let's just give them time lapha left to ukuthi ba-understandane bazi ukuthi omunye uma overlapha omunye need to like underlap yabo, like babe ne-understanding
Yeah.
as well as when it comes to defense because last game uModiba was a bit exposed. uSengwane wasn't assisting him kangako. Yebo yona. So I think kumele belungise lapha nalapha nje even in the press we opposition half it wasn't as the same as Sundowns. I'll compare ngizocomparisha i-Sundowns because we have like i-Sundowns has more players with Bafana.
Yeah.
So ilezi zinto ey'ncane ngicabanga ukuthi bangayilungisa. So yeah, so I
Okay.
think even i-point because we won't be as bad as abanye bengacabanga ngalo because we playing away first. Kade ukhuluma like what's this?
Home field
The
advantage.
Yes. So that might be the case futhi yabo. But since khona ama-players e-Sundowns first, I think bazokwazi ukuthi babanikeze motivation. Not that I'm breaking, but
Hey,
they've been under
Masandawan.
pressure. So so baze support emotionally, they'll be able to like babakhuthaze yabo. They
Okay.
should be able to babakhuthaze. Injalo
No.
futhi.
Thank you. Kolani. For time's sake, I think we're gonna stop it there. Look, my thoughts are very simple, guys. I think that I'm in two minds. One mind says that South Africa is good enough to play better than this. So, especially against Benin, especially in these groups, not only for goal difference and things like that, sometimes you need to do well so that other teams get scared of you when they need to come to you. So Benin, if we won the Benin game 5-0, it would be something, right? Lesotho comes to us and doesn't play that. Nigeria comes to us and maybe has the bit of a fear factor. So we need to be able to install that, and I feel like it was missing. We played very good in the first few minutes, even scored 2 minutes in. But then from that point on, the dominance was there. As we had possession, we had the passes and everything, but there was nothing to tell you that Bafana is going forward. So this scoreline actually does a disservice to the performance that Bafana put out, and Benin could have actually come back into that game. That's the one mind. My second mind goes, again, I don't think we are ready for this kind of football as the South African public. I always tell you guys that there's a reason why a lot of people don't rate Gavin Hunt like that. There's a reason why, even though our Chiefs finished second in helicopter football, people were angry. It's because this way of playing, these 2-1s, these 1-0s, I lost 5 games. 1-1, Ivory Coast, 0-0 Eswatini, 1-0 win DRC, 0-0 Namibia. Okay, COSAFA Cup we won 2, that Malawi game. It's very close. Very, very, very fine margins. And that's how Africa plays. So I think part of what's happening is that as South Africans, we're viewing this game and we're going, I want something more. I want Ishushan and Piano. I want 5-0, 6-0. Whereas the African way, mastered by our Bruce, is maybe, hey guys, go there, score your 2 goals, sit back, you may concede 1, try and manage the game from there. You know, go out, get your 1 goal, sit back, try and manage your game from there. And I think we might not be ready as a public to consume that, because 12 games unbeaten, the South African side, but we still have questions about Bruce. And the question becomes, is it about Bruce, or is it just that lento esibonayo asika understand, asika yazi kahle, you know? And because of that, as people, we're still thinking that we want a little bit more, and it needs to be winning. What did you say about Rulani at the beginning of the year? We said about Rulani that at the beginning of the season, no, Sundowns is not the same Sundowns as old, no Sundowns. No, they just played a different football, and now is one in the AFL. So let's see. I think whether you agree or don't agree with Bruce, let's give him a chance, because, I mean, he's qualified us for AFCON. We're looking okay in this group right now. Let's see what he does. I think he's earned the benefit of the doubt. Not necessarily your trust, maybe, but the benefit of the doubt has to be with Hugo Bruce right now, because he's showing you that this is the business. This is what I do. This is what I'm good at. So let's give him a chance and see how that's going to work out. Guys, join me tonight. We're going to be speaking about Banyana Bastaela, Champions League winners. We're going to speak about the match that they played yesterday. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you to the panel. If you want to watch any of the previous episodes up, including this one, they are available on Facebook and on YouTube in full, as well as other footballing content. We do have a WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp group, you can access it by joining one of the memberships on YouTube. So if you head on over to YouTube, the Overthinking Football Show, you subscribe, then you click join. That join button will let you join our WhatsApp group as well. And that's where we have much more deeper debates about everything. So join there, 20 Rand a month. You're part of the Overthinking Football community, you're a contributor. And also we have member-only streams where everybody can watch, but only members can interact. So do me the favor of following the TikTok page, following the Facebook page, subscribing on YouTube, and joining a membership. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys at 8. We'll talk about Ukalo tomorrow. Ria. There's also Siema, who's being put in by Skukuri.